Hi guys, POE Noob here. Today I'm sharing with you a very OP combo that I only found one guy on POE Ninja is using. So this is not a build guide, but I'm more explaining the template and concept of this shenanigan. And then I will compare this combo with the well-known Sandstorm Visage plus Tripanon combo. Okay, first of all, I got my idea mostly from this guy on POE Ninja, the only guy using this combo. So you can check his profile later if you're interested. And then I leveled up my character and tried with it with my customization, and would like to share what I found, how strong it is, and what caveats it has. Okay, so what is this combo? This combo revolves around this helmet, Plume of Pursuit, which said spell skills always deal critical strikes on final repeat and cannot deal critical strikes except on final repeat. Well, it means that first of all we will need spell echo. We will need this gem to actually have spells to repeat, and then the first hit of spell echo will not crit, and the second hit guarantees to crit. So it's something like we are having a fixed 50% crit chance in any circumstances. So this is what this helmet gives. And then, so how do we find some synergies around it? First of all, this amulet, less crit chance, but huge crit multi. So it's a must-have for this combo. Secondly, the spell Echo Gem with divergent quality, where the final repeat hits harder. So you see the final repeat of supported skills deal 60% more damage, because only the final repeat will crit, right? And also we have, it has synergy with this control destruction support, which gives 80% less crit chance, which is huge downside, but it gives a much more spell damage. And then this new weapon from this league, Winds of Fate, it said the max crit chance is 50%, which is a downside, but we already have a fixed 50% crit chance anyways from the helmet, so it is not a downside for us. And as a compensate for this downside, this weapon gives 100% crit multi and an insane amount of flat fizz damage. And then combined with Battle Mage, which is ascendancy from the Inquisitor, it said that it gain added spell damage equal to the damage of your main hand weapon. So from this weapon, it gives 600 and 1100 fizz damage, which is huge, and it will be added to our spells. And then these fizz damage will be converted to elemental and chaos damage. So these are all the synergies that works with this helmet. So from all these synergies I just mentioned, it just gives an absurd tons of damage. Since Battle Mage gives added fizz damage from the weapon, and it converts to elemental and chaos damage, then the most intuitive spell choice is a physical spell, which can benefit from all the conversions and fizz as extra elements, right? So I built around EK, So I leveled up and geared up my character just yesterday, and most gear pieces are not min-maxed at all. And from the POB, you can see I already had around more than 40 million DPS without fanaticism. So what is fanaticism? It is a buff, so you need to do something to get this buff. You need to attack in the 4 seconds and to get this buff, and this buff just gives 75% more cast speed and also reduced mana cost and AoE. So basically it gives 75% more DPS. If we check it, it goes to 76 million DPS. So my EK setup also works with Spark, with just a simple gem swap. Yeah, so let me just quickly show you how the mapping and bossing look like.
Must have time to gather my own.
What do fighters to exist? Be healed and fight on! Great tethers!
Yet catch her true face. Cannot escape.
The stars watch and envy as life pervades and envelops every open space. A cycle of birth and death that is while the stars themselves run unceasingly and unchanging for countless lifetimes. Eternity is stagnation, and stagnation is
The puppets dance on strings unsprung. Sweet, sweet treat. Put on a good show. Give yourself to the boy.
Faster!
Handle this. Life is so brilliant. Time to understand her. Feel death's pull.
Okay, welcome back. So I just forgot to mention one more piece of this combo, which is this jewel, the Balance of Terror, which said that if you casted Elemental Weakness in the past 10 seconds, you will gain 40% of physical damage as a random element. So because we're adding so much phys damage from the weapon as well as from the physical spell, so it gives 40% extra element. That's a huge boost. So we will also include this into our combo. And again, so my setup is just an example, and you can definitely build differently and even better around these core items of this combo. Another topic, so at the early stage of this league, people already found the Sandstorm Visage combo, which is very similar to this combo, which has almost free capped crit chance and high multi. So for those who are not familiar with this combo, I can quickly show you how it works. So basically it is building around this helmet, Sandstorm Visage, which said base crit chance of spells is the critical chance of main hand weapon, and then combined with this weapon Trapanon, whose critical, the base crit chance is 100%. So which means that your the base crit chance of your spell will be equal to 100%. And then combined with this same amulet, which gives a huge multi and less crit chance, but it's not a big deal, and you only need a very few investment into the crit chance to have a 100% guaranteed crit chance. So this combo is already pretty OP, and on POE Ninja there are already a lot of people using it. The most used skill is the Hex Blast, whose base crit chance is only 4%. But with this combo, it becomes from 4% to 100%. So that's how it works and how OP it is. But now we're having a new competitor with the Plume of Pursuit. So I kind of like to have a detailed comparison between the two and check their differences and what scenarios does them work better. So to have the comparison, I made two POBs. So this is with a Visage setup with core items, 3 core items, and 1 jewel, and no skill tree, just for this jewel socket, and then 6 link EK and basic aura and the hex. Same for the Plume setup. Also the core items and no tree and the same similar skill gems. And I have a EK setup for physical damage, and have a spark setup for elemental damage spell. And then I compared their DPS. I also made some adjustment to have a fair comparison. For example, like one example is that for the Visage setup, I added 15% more damage because in Plume setup, we will need, so this Battle Mage Ascendancy from the Inquisitor is a mandatory, but it's not mandatory for Visage setup. So it can be any other Ascendancy nodes, which typically maybe average gives around 15% more damage. Anyways, you can check the details of this comparison in the POB, but I already listed everything in a spreadsheet. Let's have a look. So okay, so this is the 2 different setups, and this is the core items for the basic setup. We have what kind of weapon and amulet, jewel, ascendancy support gem, the core item, 5 core items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 4 core items for the Visage setup. And then the highlight about why we're using this items in this combo And then it's the DPS comparison. So first of all, using the physical spell EK, and we can see the Plume setup has around 57% more damage DPS than Visage, and for elemental setup, it's still like 54% more DPS. So that's a huge advantage. And then I also summarize the pros and cons and why or when we should choose which one. So for the pros of the Plume setup, first of all, it definitely gives 50% more damage DPS than the Visage setup. Secondly, it has free Phys to Elemental or Chaos conversion, which is nice for physical spells. Third, the weapon implicit 18% chance to block is a quite nice defense layer. But for the Visage setup, the Tripanon, the implicit is the something like stun duration or something. And fourth, it need literally zero investment into crit chance. But for the Visage setup, we still need like around 200% increased critical chance on your gear or skill tree. Then also it has cons for the Plume setup. So first of all, it only works for Templar class because we need the Battle Mage from Inquisitor. And secondly, it only works for self-cast spells that can be supported by spell echo, and it does not work for traps, mines, and channeling spells. And also, it does not work for the Blade Vortex as I tested. And third, the Plume of Pursuit has a very slightly clunky style to deal damage on every second hit, but actually from my experience it could be ignored with high cast speed. And lastly, you will need to self-cast the Elemental Weakness Curse for high DPS boost, but still, like if you have a high cast speed, it's pretty smooth. And then, so why we should choose this option is that if you play self-cast spells, which can be supported by spell echo, and physical spells preferred but not limited to physical spells. And also if you have a Templar character or you can level up a Templar character, it's great. So for leveling up, so yesterday actually I paid for a Act Rush service, and which takes less than 2 hours to finish all the acts, and got all skill points and leveled up to 60 level. And then I just goes to the breach, and then the 5-way, and it goes all the way up to 95 pretty quickly. Okay, and then for Sand Visage, as we concluded, so the pros of this setup is that it works for all ascendancies, and it works for almost all spells. And also, this is a slight advantage is that Sandstorm Visage helmet has a little bit higher ES on the helmet. But for the cons, that it has significantly less DPS. And then you still need like around 200 increased critical chance to cap the crit chance. So when you choose this, so if you're playing non-self-cast spells such as traps, mines, so the best example is the Hex Blast mines. So you can play with Visage setup. And also if you don't have a Templar character and you don't want to level up one, so you can also choose this setup. Okay, so that's it for the whole content, and hopefully this video gives you some new concepts of self-cast builds. I truly believe this is a potent combo and we can make more crazy builds out of it. So let me know what you think in the comment below, and thanks for watching.